The Sahara Desert is so vast that satellites struggle to see everything beneath its sands. But recently, archaeologists uncovered something that shouldn't exist at all: evidence of a complex human civilization buried under one of the driest places on Earth. Stone tools, ancient settlements, traces of rivers where none flow today. And the most unsettling part? This civilization thrived in a place we believed was always lifeless. To understand why this discovery shocked scientists, you need to picture the Sahara as we know it now. Endless dunes, blistering heat, almost no water, a natural barrier that separates North Africa from the rest of the continent. For decades, historians believed this desert had always been an obstacle to human life. A void, a dead zone. But deep beneath the sand, that story began to collapse. Satellite imaging first hinted at the impossible. Strange geometric patterns appeared beneath the dunes, lines too straight, shapes too deliberate to be natural. When researchers overlaid these images with ancient climate data, a disturbing possibility emerged. The Sahara had not always been a desert. Thousands of years ago, it was green. Lakes once shimmered where dunes now rise. Rivers carved paths across the land. Grasslands stretched for hundreds of miles. And where there was water, humans followed. What archaeologists found next was unexpected. In regions like the Sahara Desert and the Libyan Sahara, teams began uncovering stone foundations, pottery shards, and tools buried under layers of sand. These were not temporary camps. They were settlements, some arranged in patterns that suggested planning, cooperation, and long-term occupation. This wasn't a lone tribe passing through. This was a society that had adapted, organized, and flourished. Radiocarbon dating placed many of these sites between 10,000 and 5,000 years ago, during what scientists now call the African Humid Period. Rainfall transformed the Sahara into a landscape more similar to today's savannas. Herds of animals roamed freely. Humans hunted, fished, and eventually farmed. But historians later discovered something even more unsettling. Among the remains were burial sites, carefully arranged bodies, grave goods placed with intention, jewelry carved from stone and shell. This hinted at beliefs, rituals, and possibly even early religion. These people didn't just survive here. They lived with meaning. Rock art scattered across cave walls strengthened that idea. Etchings showed cattle, boats, and human figures dancing or hunting. Scenes of daily life frozen in stone. Some even depicted animals that cannot survive in desert environments. Hippos, crocodiles, and fish, confirming that this land was once rich with water. But who were these people? That question still haunts researchers. One leading theory suggests these were early pastoral societies, groups who domesticated cattle long before agriculture spread widely across Africa. Evidence of corrals and cattle bones supports this idea. These people may have been pioneers, shaping one of the earliest cattle-based cultures in human history. Another theory points to a forgotten network of connected communities, not isolated villages, but a web of settlements linked by rivers and seasonal migration routes. Similar pottery styles have been found hundreds of miles apart, suggesting shared knowledge and communication across vast distances. Then there's the most controversial idea. Some archaeologists believe this civilization may have influenced later cultures along the Nile. As the Sahara slowly dried, populations would have been forced to migrate eastward toward the only remaining reliable water source, the Nile Valley. If true, the roots of ancient Egyptian civilization may stretch far deeper into the Sahara than we ever imagined. But the evidence is fragmentary, incomplete, much of it still buried. And then came the turning point. Around 5,000 years ago, the climate shifted abruptly. Monsoon rains weakened, lakes shrank, rivers dried up. The green Sahara began transforming into the desert we know today. What had taken thousands of years to flourish collapsed in generations. For the people living there, it would have felt like the world was ending. Water sources vanished. Animals migrated or died. Crops failed. Settlements were abandoned. Some groups moved south. Others followed the last rivers east. Those who stayed were eventually swallowed by the sand. Entire communities erased. What makes this collapse so haunting is how fast it happened. Climate records show that the Sahara's drying was not slow and gentle. It was sudden and unforgiving. One generation could thrive. The next could face extinction. This wasn't just the fall of a civilization. It was a warning written into the earth itself. Yet despite decades of research, huge questions remain unanswered. Did this civilization have leaders? A shared language? Trade routes that extended beyond Africa? Were they connected to early Mediterranean cultures? Or were they something entirely unique, developing in isolation before vanishing without a trace? Even today, less than 5% of the Sahara has been archaeologically surveyed. Most of what lies beneath remains untouched, hidden under hundreds of feet of sand. Each year, shifting dunes reveal new fragments, tools, bones, walls, only to bury them again. Modern technology may finally change that. Ground-penetrating radar and high-resolution satellite scans are now mapping what human eyes cannot see. Beneath the desert, entire landscapes are beginning to reappear. Ghost rivers, lost lakes, possible cities, and with them, the possibility that this civilization was far more advanced than we currently believe. What if they had early systems of governance? Seasonal calendars based on rainfall? Knowledge of astronomy tied to migration patterns? We don't know. And that uncertainty is what makes this discovery so powerful, because it forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth. Human history is not a straight line of progress. It is fragile. Civilizations rise not just from intelligence or strength, but from balance with the environment. And when that balance breaks, even the most resilient societies can disappear without leaving their names behind. The Sahara does not look like a graveyard, but beneath its sands lies the memory of a world that once breathed, moved, and dreamed. History may have forgotten its people,